Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into what's basically the Bible of web security, the Web Application Hacker's Handbook. We're going to break down the playbook that attackers use to get inside the websites and services we all rely on every single day. Right off the bat, this book pulls no punches. It opens with that exact line, making it crystal clear that this isn't some dry academic textbook. Nope. This is a hands-on, step-by-step manual for breaking into the very applications that are supposed to be protecting our most sensitive information. Which really makes you wonder, right? How is it that these apps, often built by massive companies with huge budgets, are so consistently and so easily broken into? Well, according to the handbook, the root of the problem is something you might not expect. It all starts with a kind of deceptive simplicity that lies right at the heart of how websites are built today. Here's the thing. Modern tools make it incredibly easy to get an app up and running. A developer can build something that works faster than ever before. But, and this is a huge but, that speed comes at a price. Security isn't the default. It's this whole other layer of difficult, complex work that often gets pushed aside in the race to get new features out the door. And that leaves behind some seriously dangerous holes. And this is where the old way of thinking about security completely falls apart. We all think of a firewall like this big, strong castle wall, right? It's great at stopping a battering ram, but these application layer attacks, they're way sneakier. They're designed to look like a totally normal message. It's like a spy sending a poison note that sails right past the guards and gets delivered straight to someone inside the court. The castle wall does absolutely nothing to stop it.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's open up the hacker's playbook. Mission number 1, become someone else.
When you log into a website and you don't have to type your password in on every single page? That's session management. The site gives your browser a little temporary digital pass, a token, to remember who you are. Well, if an attacker can guess that token or steal it, then they can just walk right in. They can pretend to be you without ever needing your password.
But just getting through the front door? That's only half the battle. The real prize, the crown jewels, is all the data locked away in the database. And you'd be shocked at how hackers have a direct line to get to it.
This next one is an absolute classic in the hacking world. It's called SQL injection. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you go to a library and fill out a slip to request a book. But instead of a book title, you write a secret command on the slip. A vulnerable system is like a librarian who doesn't check, just follows the command, and instead of giving you a book, hands you the keys to the entire restricted section.
So how does it work? An attacker finds any place you can type something in. A search bar, a login form, anything. And instead of typing what they're supposed to, they type a command for the database. If the application isn't built to stop this, it just runs the command. No questions asked. The attacker is basically talking directly to the database. And this is the really scary part. We're not just talking about stealing a list of customer names here. As the book points out, a successful SQL injection can be game over. The attacker can change how the app works. They can get access to the entire server. It's a complete and total compromise. Okay, on to our third and final mission. And honestly, this one might be the most widespread of them all. This is where things get really insidious, because the attacker turns the application's own users into weapons against each other. With this attack, called cross-site scripting, the hacker isn't going after the server's database anymore. No, they're going after you, the user. They cleverly sneak a piece of malicious code onto a web page that looks perfectly normal. And when you visit that page, your browser just runs the script because it has no idea it's not supposed to be there. And if you're wondering just how big of a deal this is, get ready for this number. According to the research in the handbook, 94%, 94 of all web apps are vulnerable to this type of attack. No, that is not a typo. It is basically everywhere. And the reason it's so incredibly effective is because of one simple thing: trust. Your web browser is built to trust the code that comes from the websites you visit. So when that malicious script is delivered by a trusted website, your browser just executes it without a second thought. And suddenly, that little piece of code can access your session data, steal your cookies, and even perform actions as if it were you.
So after walking through these attack missions, what's the big ultimate takeaway from the hacker's handbook? Well, it's that we have to fundamentally change the way we think about security.
Remember that castle wall we talked about, that firewall?
It's just not where the fight is anymore. The battle has moved inside the castle walls. The application itself, every line of code, every feature, every page has become the new front line. That is the new security perimeter that has to be defended.
And that leaves us with one last and kinda unsettling thought. Think about it. Every single day, you and I trust dozens, maybe hundreds of these applications with our data, our money, our private conversations. So if the app itself is the new front door to our digital lives, how strong is the lock?